Metal Up World, this is CJ with CJOrtiz.com and MetalMotivation.com. This is the first of a new 5-message series I'm doing on dealing with your devil and finding your paradise. Now, this is all being shown in my Life Domination online coaching program, which I would love to have you be a part of. If you'd like to learn more about it, please visit the link below. But all this week, dealing with your devil and finding your paradise. Well, what could I possibly mean by that? Well, you have your own personal devil. We all do. We all have our own personal devil. We have a side to us that actually desires our destruction. Now, that may be more pronounced in other people, maybe than yourself, or you may see that very, very apparent in yourself. You sabotage yourself. You undermine your own progress. You are your own worst enemy. You are the one primarily in your way. Well, for the rest of us who may not be as bad as that, even in your best seasons and even in your happiest moments, there's a devil there just waiting for you to get hurt, waiting for you to be rejected, waiting for you to be wronged in order to take over the course of your life. It is abiding there just under the surface all the time. And you might be in good seasons in your life. You might be in general a happy person, but if you are pushed, that other side will take over. And you may not think this is true, but I believe that this devil has a voice. It's that endless chatter, the endless chatter of negativity that fills your mind. It's the opposing voice that questions you each time you consider making a change in your life for the better. You ever done that before? You get encouraged or motivated to make a change in your life, and what happens? A voice speaks and says, you're not going to make it. You're not going to succeed. You're going to fail. You're going to fail like you always do. That chatter, that endless negativity that fills your mind, it's the opposing voice that is questioning you. It's the critical bastard that puts you down and reminds you of what he or she thinks you really are. In other words, don't get too excited, man. Don't listen to somebody like CJ and get too excited that you can make a change in your life, because I know who you really are. Do you ever have that voice sounding in your head? Well, that's the devil within you. It's the part of you that says, I can't do it. It's the part of you that says, I don't deserve it. It's the part of you that says, man, good things happen to other people. They don't happen to me. Isn't that funny how we do that? We look at somebody else. We don't know anything about them, but they're living the life we want to live. They've got the things that we want to have. They've got the job and the relationship that we want for all our life. And we don't question whether they can get it or not, but we sure as hell will question whether we can get it or not. That voice saying that is that devil within. No matter what area of life, it's the daily things that we don't consider that are destroying us. That's why some of us don't recognize that this devil is in there. That's why I highlighted some of the things that this devil will say, but we don't consider it. And so we don't recognize it because life is so routine and we're so used to it. We're so familiar with it. We don't recognize these things are happening. It's, for example, the daily neglects in a relationship, the meanness in a relationship, the harsh words, the daily lack of affection. These things eventually destroy a relationship, don't they? Most relationships, and I've said this in other series, they don't end because of infidelity or something like that. That certainly can be a part of it. But even what leads to that is the daily things, the daily neglect, the daily meanness, the daily harsh words. It's these things that happen daily that undermine our progress. It's your physically, it's your daily consumption of processed foods and sugar and carbs, eating and drinking the wrong things every day that will eventually create the obesity, eventually create the heart attacks, the heart disease, the diabetes. These things are at epidemic levels. I mean, I saw an article the other day that said that very soon here, over 50% of the kids in America will be suffering from obesity. Man, that's Outrageous. That is epidemic levels. That happens by what we do daily. When it comes to money, it's that wasteful spending. It's that constantly adding to debt. It's that, lack of savings, those things we do daily that create the financial problems that we get ourselves into. So it's that same way in the daily thoughts and conversations that we are having with ourselves, the self talk, as they say. This is what eventually robs us of the life that we claim we want. But you're not paying attention to the stuff you're reading. You're not paying attention to the way you treat your spouse or your other half. You're not paying attention to your money. And so these daily things eventually eat your lunch, and they do the same thing when it comes to that devil within. That voice that's speaking, that voice is that devil within. And once something bad happens, and I hope you're listening, once something bad happens, that devil will take over and try to destroy your life. Isn't it true that we're really not paying attention to that voice? Isn't it true we're really not watching over our thoughts? Isn't it true we're really not changing or governing or taking control over our own self-talk? Most people don't have a plan or a method for doing this. They don't. Like I said before, people who will follow me on Facebook, they like the daily inspiration, but that's as far as they're going to go. They're not going to join this coaching group, for example. They just want enough motivation to get through another day. That's all they're looking for. They're not looking for anything more than that. But what happens? They suffer physically, they suffer emotionally, they suffer financially. Not because they're not in my group. What I mean by that is that they don't have a daily systematic way. They're not learning and growing and discovering methods and tools and principles to change their life, man. As in all things, awareness is the starting point. You've got to become aware that there is an issue. You've got to become aware that there is this potential destructive aspect. But then you've got to create new habits that can actually create that paradise within. And this is ultimately what we should be striving for. We should be striving for that paradise within. In essence, you could, I think, say that we're all in search of paradise. When we say we're in search of happiness, when we say we're in search of fulfillment, when we say we want the ideal relationship, when we say we want the ideal house or car or job or whatever, we are looking for paradise, because paradise means an idyllic or extremely happy or peaceful place or state of being. Think about that. It's an idyllic, extremely happy, peaceful place or state of being. That is paradise. And our darker side deceives us with destructive thoughts that we actually believe are true. And that constant conversation is what is blocking the path to our paradise. Now, I'm not suggesting that you're going to be able to find a utopia. I'm not talking about a perfect, ideal paradise. What I'm saying is that the life that we could be living, our potential life, is so much greater than what we're living right now that you could almost call it a paradise. For a lot of us, all we want is a little relief. You think about when you're in severe pain, no matter what it is, a back pain or a nerve pain, or you're, deathly ill with a stomach virus or badly burned. How desperate are you for just a little relief? You ever been like that before? Where you've been so sick that you would just love to have a little relief? Where you had a migraine so bad, you would just love a little bit of relief. So I'm not talking about a perfect paradise. What I am talking about is a way of life that, when it's set over against or contrasted with where you are right now, would be so close to paradise for you. And that's potential. You have it right now. You have that potential for that kind of life. It's in you. It'll cost you. You got to pay a price to get there, man. But it is in you. And that's really the objective here. And you've got to be seeking it. We should be seeking that kind of life. It's not wrong for you to seek that kind of life. It's not wrong for you to seek a better life for yourself. It is not wrong. You deserve it. In fact, deserve has really got nothing to do with it. I shouldn't even say that. Deserve has really got nothing else to do with it, man. You can get it because it's available. You can get it because you have that potential. But we've got to deal with that devil within so that you can be opened up to pave the way to get into that state of paradise. Can you dig it? I hope you can. So that's what I'm covering all this week in my Life Domination online coaching program. As always, I show the first episode of each week's series right here for free. If you'd like to see the rest of them, you're going to have to join the online Life Domination online coaching program. It's awesome, very cheap, easy to do. It's 5 videos each week on a single topic, all shown in a private Facebook group, which I administrate. The only other people in there are people like you and me, motivated people, not haters, not naysayers, not critics, nothing like that. Motivated people just like you and I trying to create a better life. I administrate the group, so you and I get a chance to work together a little closer. Plus, you'll have instant access to my archives of almost 600 videos on so many different topics. So you get all that, I think, for less than 70 cents a day. And I think that's a pretty good deal. And I hope you think your life is worth that much. So join me if you can. So visit the link below for more information, metalmotivation.com/life domination coaching. This is CJ, the Metal Motivator. And remember, in whatever you do, don't suck. Metal up.